Hello, welcome back to the Peter Joe podcast. Today I have a special guest, my buddy Hubie. We're going to talk music. He's probably one of the biggest music fans I've ever met. So yeah, we're gonna shoot the shit about some music, talk about our top 10, and just freestyle the rest. All right, welcome to the Peter Joe podcast, Hubie.
Hey, thanks a lot, Joe. I appreciate the invitation. Looking forward to just shooting the shit tonight.
Awesome. You want to talk about your rock and roll woodshop? It's a really cool concept.
So it's kind of funny. It's I've always had the love of rock music. I'm the youngest of 7 kids. My oldest brother is almost 10 years older than me. So music has always been a big thing to me. But, lo and behold, unexpectedly, we move from, my wife and I lived here in Tennessee for about 6 years or so, 7 years. And then we moved to Texas. And then unexpectedly, 3 years later, we moved back for a positive reason,
Yeah.
for her job. It was a promotion. So anyway, we get back here and the house that we found about 30 miles east of Nashville, in a city, Lebanon, Tennessee. And the house has a completely renovated house. Every floor, rug in every room, new carpeting, redid the kitchen, every wall has been painted. And so my wife is loving this house. And then they're walking us around the outside. The house has not one, but two-car garages.
Holy shit. That's fucking big.
So
That's cool.
the main garage, which is, adjacent to the house, you walk in from there. That was original, but the people that built this house added on an even bigger garage with an upstairs loft and everything. And so it was like, sweet. We both fell in love with this house. This is the house. We ended up buying it. So about 6 months later, after buying the house, I figured, fuck, I got this, area of this other garage out here. I need to make it a shop or something, maybe my man cave. So I ended up making it both.
How long have you been doing like woodwork? Were you doing it before?
I never did woodworking until I bought this house. And then
Wow.
I had this place and I just started buying tools and learning how to use them. I've always been good with math. And for the most part, I've been good with safety. But
For the most part.
yeah, the rock. So what I did was, like, after I built a couple of projects out in the shop, a couple of one I built for me, one I actually did sell. But so the third project I did, I started recording a little bit of every part of the steps along the way. And not only would I talk about the project, I would talk about the music I was listening to during that build. So that's where that's where the concept of the rock and roll woodshop came from.
Awesome. That's a cool story. Where can the listeners, do you link it to YouTube or anything, your videos? Or do you have
No, but
somewhere they
that's
can find them?
probably going to be coming soon.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna
going to
say
be
you should.
I'm going to be doing a lot of short videos and just like bam, 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 bam. But that's going to happen probably within the next 30 days. I've been doing a series of kind of micro podcasts that are like 1 to 2 minutes.
Right.
In a Facebook group that I'm in, and I've been having a lot of fun with that, mostly around the subject of music. So I really think that that's going to happen soon.
Oh, hell yeah. You'd be a good podcaster too. You got the voice, you got
Thanks.
you got a lot of shit to talk about, so that's good. And people love music, and I'm sure there's a lot of woodworking fans out there, you know what I mean? And it's unique.
Oh yeah.
So you should roll with it. So this is a question for you. What was the first album you ever heard that made you fall in love with music? Can you remember it?
Oh,
It's a tough one.
Dude. Well, first of all, I don't know if I'm a tweener. I'm not a boomer, and I'm not a Gen Xer. I'm kind of a tweener in between there. I was born in the mid '60s,
Right.
and so my oldest, as I mentioned earlier, my oldest brother was a huge influence on the music I grew up listening to. But I think the first single that I can remember my brother playing on his 45 was a Beatles song, and it was probably "Love Me Do."
Yeah. Nice. I remember that song. Yep. That was like part of their lovey-dovey music.
Oh yeah, it was bubblegum pop, but I have a huge respect for the Beatles.
Oh yeah, believe me, we'll get to that because it might be on my list. Might be. Um, yeah. So I know my first album I ever heard was in high school. I listened to Korn, Follow the Leader. My sister gave me the tape, and I fucking loved it. I fell in love with Korn right away, and then I became a huge music fan, and I haven't stopped listening since then. Like whenever I'm stressed,
All
whenever
right,
I'm feeling
so
down, like I love to listen to music. Gets me back up.
yeah, so and listen, I'm very much the same way. If I were to use a similar reference, other than not just like the first random record I heard,
Hmm.
the record for me would be the first Van Halen album, which was wow, what an epic album! That was at my friend's house. I was probably in junior high at the time,
Hmm.
or getting ready to go into high school. And the funny thing is, my friend and I, our houses have the exact same layout.
Does he live by you or?
Well, back in the '70s and '80s, we did. Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay. I
lived in
didn't know
the
if you
same
still did.
neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just something about it, man. The feeling of listening to music, like it's its own little world. You know what I mean? Like, it's fantastic.
Absolutely. All right, I want to turn the tables on you for a second, Joe.
Yeah, go for it.
What was your first major concert?
It was actually Ozfest. It was 2004, I want to say. I think I was a senior in high school.
Very
Um,
nice.
it was amazing. It was some of my favorite bands. So Korn was there, Marilyn Manson, Disturbed, System of a Down, and of course Ozzy. I think there was who else was there? Oh,
Dang, that's a hell of a
Chevelle was there
lineup.
before they were big. Like that was right when they broke out,
Hmm.
basically. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a fantastic concert.
Very cool. So for me to answer the same question, my first big concert was Rush.
Oh, Rush! I always heard they're amazing live.
And it was the Grace Under Pressure tour. The album released in 83, and I saw it later the same year. But my favorite, but yeah, but listen, it's crazy. Uh, they don't have an opening band. You go in and you see Rush.
Yeah,
And in every Rush concert, they will completely do one of their previous albums, track one through the last track, and they play the entire album end to end in the middle of the concert. I love that about
that's
Rush.
crazy because a lot of bands just do like their hits, but that's cool.
Yeah.
So they don't really tell you what album they're gonna play until halfway through, which is kind of cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah, which is very cool because the last time I saw Rush, they actually played my favorite album by them, which was Power Windows from 1985. A couple of years later, that album was insane.
Was Tom Sawyer on that one, or is Tom Sawyer before all
No,
that?
no, Tom Sawyer was on Moving Pictures. That was 1982.
Oh, okay, that's a good album. I think that's the only Rush album I actually heard like all the way through.
That also had Limelight on it
Mm-hmm.
and YYZ, Red Barchetta. That yeah, but like I said, as great as an album that was, like I said, Van Halen and Rush those are my two go-tos.
Have you ever heard of Coheed and Cambria? Because they sound a lot like Rush, but a little more metally.
No, no, I
Oh,
actually haven't, and
yeah,
I'm always open to hearing new great bands,
yeah.
or that I haven't listened to before. So yeah, after we're done here, you definitely need to send me that info.
Yeah, I'll shoot you that. They're an awesome band. They're more modern, but the singer sounds a lot like the singer of Rush.
Cool.
Yeah. There's also the band that sounds like Led Zeppelin. I can't. What the hell's their name? Yeah, I'm sure
Greta
you
Van
heard them.
Fleet.
Yeah, Greta Van Fleet. I fucking love those guys too.
Dude, I have a funny story about Greta Van Fleet.
Oh, go ahead, go for it.
A guy that I randomly met at Chili's, like it's kind of on my way home from work. So I would on my bowling nights I would go to this Chili's, and then I ended up making friends with this guy. Dude, he became Greta Van Fleet's concert tour video director.
That's sick.
Dude, I have a poster out in my shop right now. I haven't opened up yet. But yeah, he was I mean, over the entire tour, they go in, they set up all the cameras, and
Hmm.
he's the guy out in the truck going, okay, give me this, give me this, give me this. And, dude, he's kind of a big deal. He did the back-to-back nights in, Los Angeles with Metallica. He did both of those shows.
Oh, they played with Metallica. That's cool. That'd be a hell of a
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah, that was cool.
They're probably one of my dream bands to see live is Metallica. I don't know about now,
I tell
but
you what, I've seen
like
them
in
a couple
'90s.
of times. Um, I would love to see them one last time. I would like to see them again. They've had enough good material lately to where I would enjoy the concert. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, their last couple albums like are almost old school Metallica sounding, which I love. And a lot of people,
Yeah,
see,
the one with Atlas Rise and
yeah.
Moth into Flame, and yeah, I kept.
When do you remember when you saw them? Like,
I tell you what, my. If I had to pick two Metallica albums that were my favorite, I would say Master of Puppets and Death Magnetic.
yeah, Death Magnetic. I think that's the album I was thinking of.
Yeah, Death
Um,
Magnetic was
wait, what was
that
your
was
first
like
one?
2011 or 2012 probably. But man, that's just one of those albums that was just banger after banger. It was
What was your
terrific.
first one? Ride the Lightning? Or no?
Master of
Oh,
Puppets,
Master of Puppets. Okay.
1986.
Yeah, that's a great album too. I'd probably say Black Album and Master of Puppets. Those would be my
I
two.
love Black Album, dude. Black Album was I definitely solid right there. I mean, that entire album. I could sing every line of every song on that album. It's just,
Yeah,
and
there's not a
it's good
skip track
memories
on it.
as well of my young single life.
Hmm. Yeah, to me that was like the mecca of Metallica. It got overplayed on the radio. That was the only problem with it. Like every song did, but it's still amazing. It's one of those albums you can't skip a song. There's not a song you can skip
No,
over it.
I completely agree. All right, so you know what? This funny thing, you and I talked about that we were going to talk about our top 10 bands
Hmm.
and maybe a comment or two. You know what? I don't, since I'm on my phone right now, I
Yeah.
actually can't see the list that I sent to you. Did you print them out?
Hold on. Let me see if I could send it to
Can
you.
you
Oh
get
no,
them
you're
on
not
your
on your
tablet?
phone. Wait. Hold on. Let me see. I just don't want to lose connection here. I know you
Oh, you're
sent me
good.
them. I know you sent me them. Let me see if I could. If I email them to you, will that work?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's mine. Like, wait, that's my list. Oh,
Ah,
here we go.
screw it. You know what? I'll
Oh no,
just
I
roll
get.
with it. No, I'll tell you what. I don't want to make this no, tell you what. Let's just roll.
All right.
Let's just roll.
Sure.
Top 10 bands.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want us to start at 10? Or you want me to start? I'll leave it up to you.
Tell you what, I'm the guest. I'll go first.
All right.
All right. So you already know what my first is. It's Van Halen. Um, in my opinion, the greatest American rock band ever.
Oh wait, are you going number one?
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. Yeah. I'm starting at number one.
Okay, we can start number one. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm just I mean, all 10 of mine are number one. So.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. Well, my first two are my actual two, and the rest could change in any order, honestly. So yeah, let's just do the top 10. Go ahead. So Van Halen?
All right. So for me, Van Halen, I'm not going to dig too much like into details. They obviously had their years with David Lee Roth. They had the years with Sammy Hagar, and then after that you had Gary Cerrone, and that did not go well. Van Halen 3 was not a great album, but both Sammy and Dave, I liked both of their work. I'm not that guy that says Sammy sucks. I'm not the guy that says Dave sucks. But Van Halen, in my opinion, the greatest American rock band ever.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you. I mean, especially talent-wise. Like Eddie Van Halen on guitar, nasty. Like, is there a better guitarist? I don't think so.
No, no. And
Maybe Hendrix,
here's
maybe.
the thing. Yeah, see, David Lee Roth was actually not a great singer live, but he was a great entertainer, and he was a
Yeah,
great frontman.
but that's what you need
And
for a
I,
concert, entertainment.
oh, he's ridiculous. He's so good. But I will tell you this, as far as like being a better singer on stage, Sammy was better. But again, I like them both. I don't pick one over the
Yeah,
other.
they both have their own style, like two different
And my
types of Van
favorite,
Halen.
okay, so on the record, my favorite Van Halen album was 1984.
Is that what Jump and Panama?
But Jump was like my fifth favorite song off that album.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if that was the same album.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't argue with that in the top 10 though. That's a great choice, man.
All right, what
I
about
grew
yours?
up with
What's
Van
your
Halen
number
too,
one?
so my mom listened to a lot of like Rolling Stones is her favorite band, so I listened to a lot of that
Mm-hmm.
growing up. A lot of Zeppelin, a lot of Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, all those bands.
Cool.
That's why I appreciate all those bands right now.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
what would you throw out as your number one band?
Well, my number one band is Pink Floyd, and this was a tough one because I have like 1A, 1B. But yeah, Pink Floyd to me, their music's timeless. It's fucking trippy. It's um, amazing lyrics. I love both singers. Just a fantastic band. I don't think they're the
Yeah,
most talented
David
band,
Gilmour.
but I think they're the best like storytelling band, and I just really vibe with them. They bring out
Yeah,
all the emotions in me.
oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great number one.
So my favorite album by them is actually, I think it was called Animals. Is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
It has like dog on it, a bunch of the animal name songs. Of course there's The Wall, there's Dark Side of the Moon, but something about Animals, like it's just, I don't know, it flows so good together. Each song like connects, and I love it. And it has like metaphors in it, like I think pigs is police, right? Something like that.
Yep, Pigs. Yep, I remember the
Yeah.
Pigs.
So I love that album. I feel like it's underappreciated for Pink Floyd, because everybody wants to talk about like the two big albums,
Yeah,
So yeah,
for me, I'm going Dark Side of the Moon.
yeah. I mean, it's right there. That and The Wall, all three are amazing to me. I
Yeah,
didn't
no,
really
no,
like the
yeah,
early
the
stuff with
Wall, the Wall.
who was their other singer? Sid Barrett, was that it? The dude that went crazy or whatever.
I
But
believe so.
yeah, I don't really like the early stuff, but yeah. So yeah, that's my number one. So
All right, so if I'm
go to
going
your
to
next
jump
one.
back on my number two, I would go with Rush.
All right.
Just longevity. They're on the front edge of music. They're progressive rock, um, uh, kind of storytellers. A lot of their stuff. Um, Neil Peart, who is the greatest drummer of all time, as part of this group, he was also the lyricist. He wrote all the lyrics, and he was very much a science fiction nerd. And so a lot of their stuff, if you look at the Grace Under Pressure album, you look at the Power Windows album, and and I think the one after that was Hold Your Fire, I think was the next album. But they all had at least one or two that were kind of futuristic in the way that the lyrics were.
I like that they have like a space sound too. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I like
and
that.
it's amazing how much music that they make for only three people.
Oh, they only have three? Holy shit.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, I
only
wouldn't
three
have guessed
people in
that.
it. Yeah,
That's
they are
crazy.
the ultimate Canadian power trio.
Wow. Yeah, you're right about the sound. Only three guys, like that's insane. This is really
Yeah,
unique sound.
yeah, and like I said, and I've mentioned it before, my favorite album by them is actually Power Windows. Um, if you've never heard it, if you're listening to this by chance, check that album out. Do yourself a favor. Rush, Power Windows, 1985.
I meant to ask you about Van Halen. How many times did you get to see them live?
I got to see them twice with Sammy and twice with Dave, but it was Dave in his later years.
Right.
I also saw Sammy Hagar solo with Michael Anthony, Mikey from Van Halen, who followed Sammy when they had the split up of the band. And yeah, it was but yeah, twice for Sammy, twice for Dave. Sammy was better both times.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So you got to see your favorite band four times. That's awesome.
Yep. I'm
Or second favorite, sorry. Or no, that was your favorite. Yeah, Van
no,
Halen, your
yeah, that
favorite.
was my number
Yeah.
one. I've seen Rush twice. No, three times. I've seen Rush three times.
My
Um,
ex-wife saw Rush and she said they were amazing. And that was more recently too.
yeah, very cool. No, yeah, it was my last time was about 4 years ago, I want to say, or maybe 5 years ago, but it was a great concert.
Yeah, singer still sounding good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's for
Geddy Lee,
yeah.
bass player and lead singer, still sounding good.
All right, so we'll hop to my number two, and that's the Beatles. I told you they'd be on my list. So
Yep.
yeah, the Beatles, Pink Floyd and the Beatles are like 1A, 1B for me. Um, I don't really like the early Beatles, like you were talking about Love Me Do. I don't really like the lovey-dovey songs, but I like their more trippy, more mature music.
Like Day Tripper.
Yeah, a little bit after that. Yeah, but Day Tripper's great. My favorite album is the White Album by far.
Absolutely.
It's right up there with Abbey Road for me. I
Oh,
don't think
Abby,
there's a
yeah.
bad song on that fucking
What a
album
great.
for a two-disc album. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
My favorite song is probably, God, this is a hard one. Lonely. What is it? Happiness is a Warm Gun. That's probably my favorite song by them.
All
If I
right,
were to pick one.
so if I had to pick my favorite Beatles song, this is going to surprise you, I think. Man,
I also have Maxwell's Hammer too. That's probably like tied
I
with
love
them.
Maxwell
You know.
Silverhammer. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But no, I think my favorite Beatles song, I'm, I'm going to go with Paperback Writer.
Yeah, that's a good one. They have so many fucking good songs.
That's not one of their it never got like huge radio play, but if you're a Beatles fan, you know all the songs.
Oh
But
yeah,
for me, that's one of my favorites by the Beatles.
it is so hard to pick a favorite Beatles song because there's so many fucking bangers. You know.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
it's a band
Got
I
to
wish I
get you
could have
into my
saw.
life at the very end of their career.
And actually, Paul McCartney's solo stuff is fucking excellent too. Like he could still
Oh
sing
yeah.
to this day. Like it's insane.
Yep.
His voice still.
And his run before he went solo, but when he actually had Paul McCartney and Wings, they
Yeah,
put
that's great
out some
too.
banger albums too.
Yeah, hell yeah, definitely. Yeah, so Beatles are number two for me. I mean, one and two, I would never change those two.
Nah, me neither would I. My number one and number two are locked.
Yeah, that's how I am. All right, so let's get to your number three.
Number three, I
Well, we're doing this. I mean,
man.
now.
No,
So
tell you what, Scorpions.
okay, I don't
I'm
really know a
going
lot of their stuff.
Scorpions. Um, that was, and again, most of what I'm going to call out for my very favorite bands were from that time when I was 17, 18, 19, 20, my formative years. Though this music has just stayed with me so strong in such a
Hmm.
strong way. But in 1983, or actually it was 84, the album Love It First Sting came out by Scorpions, and the previous album was Blackout, which was a monster record, which I didn't get to learn until because like when I was just getting into hair metal,
Hmm.
and then I heard, Big City Nights and Love It for Sting, and that album was just fantastic. But still to this day, one of my favorite hair metal, not just hair metal groups, but man, yeah, I would say Love It for Sting is my favorite album.
All right. Yeah, I haven't heard a lot of Scorpions. I never really listened to a lot of 80s hair band stuff. I don't even know if Guns N' Roses counts in there, but I like them a lot.
Oh, absolutely it does.
Okay. Yeah, those guys, oh man, such an amazing band and such a letdown at the same time because when they broke up, like, how long did it take for Chinese democracy? What, fucking 12 years, 15 years, something like that?
Like that, yeah.
And that was such a disappointment when it came out. Oh,
Yeah, you went from
anyways,
like 87 to 99 or something like that.
yeah. And it was supposed to come out, what, like right after those other albums. And then they
Oh, I
fucking just
know.
pushed it so long.
Yeah, you had Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 and Appetite for Destruction. Both amazing albums, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
totally.
All
So
right.
yeah, Scorpions would be my number three.
I'll have to give them a listen. Um, Once I listen to this podcast, I'll put those albums into my Spotify so I can listen to them.
Very cool.
I like to give new things a shot, you know. I mean, obviously not new anymore, but I like new music as far as stuff I haven't heard yet. And I
Awesome.
really don't like new music at all. Like, I can't listen to any new bands right now, or I don't know. I just feel like music's not the same as it was.
You're getting older, Joe.
Yeah, definitely. But seriously though, even like just talent wise, like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, like music was so much better than it is now. I mean, I,
You know what? You are preaching to the choir, my man.
yeah,
I
I
tell
don't
you
even
what,
think
like I
it's like
said, my
a,
oldest brother was almost 10 years older than me. I listened to a lot of music from the British invasion, early American rock, 70s. I mean, I listened to all of it. I was very lucky to grow up when I did.
mhm. Yeah, being born in the 60s is cool, man. 60s seemed like a fun time.
Yep. Oh, well, I was only there for a few years. I don't remember it because I was so young. So, all right. So, what's your number three album or number three group?
You're probably not gonna jive with this, but Slipknot. I fucking love
Okay,
Corey Taylor. I feel like he's my honestly favorite frontman. He has
that's
two.
awesome.
He actually has two amazing bands, Slipknot and Stone Sour. Plus, he has a solo band. But yeah, I just fucking love Slipknot. I know it's angry music, but it makes me happy. Um,
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that it's music in that style where what it does, it ramps you up and it actually calms you down. A lot of people
yeah,
don't realize that.
yeah,
They're only listening to the sound, not to the whole thing.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Like when I'm in a bad mood or like a sad mood, I'll pop on Slipknot, and
Yeah.
it'll put me in a good mood. But most people think, oh, it's angry music. You're gonna be in a pissed off mood. Like, no. I mean, yeah, too. You could listen to it and get angry, but still, it's therapeutic to me. It really is. So my favorite Slipknot album would be their first album, the self-titled album. Favorite song would be Surfacing. It's a fucking brutal song, but the riffs in it are amazing. Yeah, Slipknot they really do it for me. I haven't seen them
And
live yet, but
what year did their first album come out?
1999, I'm pretty sure. It was
Cool.
either 99 or 2000.
99 was an interesting time in music because then you're transitioning. You had a lot of good like just mainstream rock going on at that time.
Yeah, new metal.
Pop was going really well. You had a lot of the boy bands going at that time. NSYNC and
Mhm.
Backstreet Boys and all that. But music was interesting. But this is when Disturbed and
Yeah, it was like
Linkin Park
the
and
rise of new
Red Hot
metal.
Chili Peppers and just
Corn.
man,
Yeah.
the late '90s was a really cool but very brief moment.
Yeah, especially with new metal. Like it came and it went.
Hmm.
But I love new metal, honestly. I have a lot of new metal bands on here. All
Very
right, so
cool.
let's get to your number four.
All right, so
Or
number
no,
four, this
no,
one's
be number
pretty
three, right?
easy.
Oh wait,
No,
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 no, no.
number
Yeah,
three was Scorpions. We're on to
yeah,
number
right,
four
right,
now.
right, right. My bad.
All
So
right,
number
so my
four.
number four, I'm going with Judas Priest. Rob Halford. So most people don't realize, but Judas Priest started like in 1969 or 1970. Dude, he's like, I'm surprised he can even still go out there. But Rob Halford's one of the greatest voices of all time, not only in hair metal, but metal and rock, mainstream rock. And you had Screaming for Vengeance, you had Defenders of the Faith, you had Turbo, you had, I mean, just, they had like a 7 or 8 year window where it was just like hit after hit after hit. My favorite album, if I had to pick a favorite album, Judas Priest, I'm going to go with Defenders of the Faith, and off that album, The Sentinel, which never got a lot of radio play, but it's just a great track. And again, you mentioned this a little while ago, early when we were talking. This is a story. It's about a warrior, and they even describes a row, a sash across his chest with a row of throwing knives, and amidst the upturned, burned out cars, and it's just like they paint a vision of battle.
It
And
sounds apocalyptic, which is cool.
yeah, I think that's actually pretty. But I tell you what, man, it's a bad jam. If I were to say listen to one song by Judas Priest, it's The Sentinel off
Okay,
Defenders of the Faith. It's an
definitely gonna
amazing
download
song.
that album. Yeah, because I don't think I've heard a lot of Judas Priest. What was their like big singles?
Oh, Breaking the Law.
Breaking the Law. Was that Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah,
Breaking the
Breaking the
Law,
Law.
Breaking the Law.
I'm your terrible
Okay, yeah.
lover. You know, that's not even a good song. I'm going out to the highway. You know,
Yeah.
on that it was just, and again, just so many great songs. In I think it was 2014, they had an album that wasn't a great commercial success, but it was, Redeemer of Souls was the name of the album.
It's like a underground one.
Well, not just Redeemer of Souls, but this has a very like Viking vibe to it. There's a song, The Halls of Valhalla, on that album. It was actually a really good album. Really good album.
Yeah,
But yeah,
like
my number four, that would be my number four, would be Judas Priest.
Good. All right, my number four is Korn, another new metal band.
Yes.
Like I said, the first album I ever heard was Follow the Leader, so they have a really soft spot in my heart. They're one of those bands, you either love them or hate them. I mean, there's not really an in between for me, at least. I saw these guys live probably, I think it was 5 times. Fucking amazing. Jonathan Davis live is amazing. The drummer's amazing. And the one time I saw them, the drummer had a rotating drum set. So he was like spinning around in a circle playing the drums. It was fucking amazing. Like, so good.
Very cool.
Probably my favorite live band is Korn, along with Breaking Benjamin.
Nice.
Because Breaking Benjamin's actually from where I grew up in Wilkes-Barre. That's their hometown. So I have a.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's
Yep.
awesome.
They played at my high school before they were Breaking Benjamin. They were called Strangers with Candy, and they had to change their name because Comedy Central had a show called Strangers with Candy, so they had to change their name.
Oh, okay.
So that's an interesting little fact. But yeah, Korn's my number 4. Favorite album, Follow the Leader. That's actually my favorite album of all time by any band is Follow the Leader. So yeah, favorite song would be Reclaim My Place, which is off the Follow the Leader album. So if you're looking for a good Korn song, Reclaim My Place. Amazing.
I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Definitely will.
Check out that whole album, Follow the Leader. It's so good.
Follow the Leader. Okay.
It's like infused. It's like hip hop infused with new metal, basically.
Oh, that'd be cool. That's an interesting twist there.
Yeah. They feature Limp Bizkit in the song too, which is really cool. All right, so that's my number 4, Korn.
Nice.
I was gonna see, do you have a shot? Do you want to do a shot real quick?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll do
I
a
already
shot.
have mine poured. I have a vanilla Jim Beam shot, so I like the girly shit.
All right. Well, hang on.
Yeah,
Give
go ahead,
me
take
like
your time.
give me like 5 seconds.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll pour one here.
Yeah, so just to recap, my number 1 was Pink Floyd, number 2 Beatles, number 3 Slipknot,
of Maker's Mark,
number 4 Korn.
Private Selection.
Maker's Mark. I don't think I've had that. Is that a whiskey or is that a
It's a bourbon.
bourbon? Oh, like
Yeah,
Jim
I'm
Beam.
gonna pour about a half shot.
All right, I'm with you. Whenever you want to do cheers, I'm good.
All right, here we go, man. You
Ready?
count it up.
3, 2, 1. Cheers.
Cheers.
Shot to music. The greatest
Nice.
fucking stress reliever.
I tell you what, music was a gift, and I'm so glad that we have it.
Yeah. You gotta hold on to the old shit, you know? They just don't make them the same anymore.
Yep.
All right, so we'll get to your number 5.
Number 5. I tell you what, I'm gonna go, and this actually kind of surprises me, but just the one band that like jumps into my head, and don't make fun of me,
I'm not
but Bon Jovi.
Yeah. Okay. Hey,
and you know, that may be kind of a wimp call, but you know, Slippery When Wet. You had, and then the New Jersey album, and then you know, Blaze of Glory, and but the other thing is just that was a little bit later in the 80s. That was like 87 or 88. And, but, the New Jersey album was like the summer of transition for me. That was 2008. And that was after I got divorced. That album almost single-handedly got me through that summer. It was that's why Bon Jovi is so high on my list. But that album, it was a great album. Lay Your Hands on Me, I'll Be There for You, 99 in the Shade, Lay Your Hands on Me. I mean, it was an awesome album, but that was a transition. That summer I had a lot of fun. It was also the summer that I met who is now my wife of 14 years.
That's awesome. Yeah. See, we all have that one album that means the most to us. It may not be the best album, but it means the most. So I was actually going to ask you that. So you answered that already, so that's good.
Yeah, and my favorite song by them. Oh, and that album also had Bad Medicine on it. I almost forgot that one. But my favorite song on that, I don't think it ever got radio play, but it was 99 in the Shade, and it was just a nice. It's like a nice high, straight kind of upbeat, but not like too fast. Just a driving rock and roll song that was about having a good time.
Is that your favorite Bon Jovi song?
Yeah, I would say that it is.
Great. I'll have to listen to that. Yeah, I can't knock Bon Jovi. They had a long career, right? I mean, a long spanning career.
Yeah, I mean, they're still touring, and you know, here it is, and you know, they started in the mid '80s, and you know, here it is, almost 40 years later. Bon Jovi is still touring.
Yeah, I'll never knock a band. I mean, it's all opinion based. It's all about emotion.
Well, it's
how it relates
music,
to you and your life. You know, that's what's great about music.
Exactly, music is subjective, which means that your opinion matters more than anyone else's, and that's
Right.
That's what I love about music. You and the fact that you put the Beatles so high in your 1B, that says a lot
Yeah,
to
it does.
me about your love of rock music.
Because they're timeless. Like you could be young and love them. You could be older and love them. They're just like to me like the perfect band. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
so many like perfect bands out there. It was hard to make this list, honestly. I left off so many good ones. Well,
All right, what about you? What's your number 5?
my number five is another Corey Taylor band, Stone Sour. They're
Okay,
like a
you mentioned them a minute ago.
yeah. Stone Sour is like they're more mellow. Slipknot, obviously, they have a lot more ballads, and I saw them live, so I got to actually see Corey Taylor live. Um, and Stone Sour was fucking amazing. A lot of people can relate more to Stone Sour than Slipknot because they're not like Stone Sour is not really angry music. It's more
No, no, it's not. It's not
yeah.
hardcore.
You still get the Corey Taylor voice, you get the lyrics, you get the metaphors, and just a fucking great band. They make banger ballads. So my favorite album by them would be, uh, I gotta remember the name of the fucking album here. Give me a second. Oh, it's Come Whatever May is my favorite album by them. That had Looking Through Glass. Because I'm looking at you through the
Nice.
glass. You probably know that song, right?
Yes, yes, I know that song.
But my favorite song by them is definitely Bother. Another ballad by them. Just hits home. It's a depressing song, but it's also an uplifting song at the same time.
It's
That
very
would
cool
be my
that you get the
favorite
other
song.
side of this artist, and it's more obviously more melodic
Hmm.
and a lot, like you said, a lot less angry. So that's awesome.
I think Stone Sour, it got me through a couple relationships when I was younger, so I think
Yeah,
that's why I gravitate to them. And then, like I said, I finally got to see them live with my ex-wife in Stroudsburg, and they were fucking
yeah.
awesome.
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so two Corey Taylor bands. But I honestly love Corey Taylor. He's such a great musician.
Very cool. Moving on to number 6, I would have to say. Now it's getting more difficult. The first 4 or 5 are like really easy. Um, I'm gonna go with Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, okay. See, we can
I'm gonna
we
go
can
with.
go on about this one.
All right, so with Ozzy Osbourne, this was like my third concert ever, and um, the other band that was at this concert is like the next on my list. It was Metallica opening for Ozzy.
Mm, that's interesting.
And no, I'll tell you what, I'm making an audible. I'm putting Metallica above Ozzy.
Okay,
Metallica,
yeah.
sorry Ozzy, you have been like moved down.
I mean,
Metallica is
I
number
can't
6
disagree
on
with
my
that one.
list. Metallica, and listen, I love Ozzy, no, but Metallica, to the first time I heard them, like I said, I won't say they blew Ozzy off the stage, but to hear music so fast and so precise and so in tune, I became an immediate fan when I
So
saw them.
okay, I got a question. Was that early Metallica when they toured, or was it like
Yeah,
right
that
after?
was early. That was the Master of Puppets
Oh,
tour.
okay,
That
wow.
was like
Yeah,
1984,
that must have been amazing.
1985.
I can't imagine them in their youth like
Uh,
that.
but yeah, Metallica. It was they they blew me away, and I became more and more a fan. Black Album's way up there for me. Um, Again, Death Magnetic. We kind of talked about this earlier. Um, so yeah, that's where I am.
I can't disagree with that. I mean, they were like the pioneers of metal to me, at least in my
I
mind.
agree.
Them and Pantera, I feel
Them
like.
and Megadeth. I mean,
Yeah,
Dave
Megadeth.
Mustaine. I mean, he was an offshoot of this band.
Yeah, wasn't he part? He was part of it, right?
Yeah, he
Originally.
was part of Metallica, and they kicked him out because he was an angry drunk. When Dave Mustaine, he would start drinking, he'd just become an instant asshole.
And they both made out, right? I mean, they both were
Yeah, no,
super successful.
everybody did just fine.
Yeah.
Although Metallica did better without him.
Oh yeah,
But
Metallica
Dave
is like.
Mustaine, he has made a great living.
There's an argument that could be said. I think Metallica are the kings of hard rock. I mean, it's either them or Ozzy, right? I would think.
Overall kings. I wouldn't say. Again, I'm sticking with the fact that Van Halen's the greatest American rock band ever. But at least currently, the Kings, since Van Halen's not around anymore, I would not argue against it. I'd say
Yeah,
right now,
metal in
Metallica
general.
are the
I feel
kings
like.
of American metal.
Yeah. I feel like Metallica started made metal big. You know what I mean? With their early stuff.
Well, they made metal less of a and I hate the word mainstream. Everyone thinks, like you mentioned earlier, the Black Album. Oh, it's mainstream, but it was a really important album that brought a lot of new listeners.
It's
to
mainstream
metal.
for a reason because it's so good.
Yeah.
There's so many singles off it.
Yeah.
That wasn't their fault that they made a great album, you know?
Exactly.
All right, what's your favorite song? I know your favorite album is Master of Puppets.
So Metallica, my favorite song is All Nightmare Long off the Death Magnetic album.
That fucking song bangs so hard. Oh man.
It does. It does. That Cyanide also off the same album. But there were some bangers off the Black Album too.
Yeah, my favorite song by them is
you could go back to Master of Puppets. You had Battery and
was one on that? No, one was Justice for All, right?
Yeah. Justice for All was just okay for me, and I do know that we had some of the most epic tracks off of it. But man, just what an amazing rock group. You're right. They are right now. Metallica are the kings of American rock.
So this is a good segue into my number 6. I mean, for me at least.
Cool.
I don't know if you're going to agree with it. I'll give you my take on it. Oh, by the way, like I said, my favorite Metallica song is One. I love the story of it. Isn't it about like a wounded soldier?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
I love that song. Such a good story. Actually, Korn covered it live when I saw them the one time.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, they did an awesome cover. So my number 6 kind of goes hand in hand with Metallica. I don't know if you're going to agree with this, but Avenged Sevenfold. I feel like they copied Metallica's style and modernized it a little bit. I think a lot of the vocals and a lot of the riffs sound like Metallica. Their album called Hail to the King is my favorite album by them.
Okay.
And it sounds a lot like the Black Album. You have to listen to it. Like the drumming, the guitar riffs. Yeah, listen to that whole album.
Yeah.
You'd probably know the single Hail to the King. Hail to the King. You would know it.
Yes, I do remember that song.
Great fucking song. But my favorite song by them would be Critical Acclaim. It's from their White Album, self-titled White Album. But yeah.
Okay.
One of those bucket list bands. I haven't seen them live, but I really want to. But they mainly tour on the West Coast, unfortunately. So I'd have to spend a lot of money to see them. Oh, that's kind of a bummer. Yeah, they're a West Coast band. They're a California band. But yeah, I love them. And to me, they're like, I'm not going to say that they're better than Metallica. I know they're not. But they're the more modern Metallica. Like you could hear the influence from Metallica if you listen to their albums. Yeah. So I think you would actually like them if you listen to them a lot. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, definitely. They just give me this feeling, and his voice is so unique too. Yeah, so that's my number 6, Avenged Sevenfold.
Very nice. So we're moving on to number 7.
This is where it gets
I'll
hard
tell
because
you
you have to
what.
leave people off it. You know what I mean? Towards the
Oh,
end.
no, exactly. I'm going with Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, good fucking choice. Good choice.
Just the, they were very raw. These were very real people, but they partied as hard as you know what.
Yeah.
And uh, but they there was no bigger band in the '90s than the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You can say anybody you would like to say, and I'd say you are wrong.
Pearl Jam?
And not only did they do, all their own amazing music, they had a couple of great cover songs. They had Higher Ground that they covered by Stevie Wonder. And they also did Love Roller Coaster covering the Ohio Players.
They covered it, but they made
And
their own, which is beautiful.
yeah, I mean, Californication and just give it away and just, yeah,
They're a West Coast band too.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not going to give a favorite album, but if I had to do a favorite track, like a favorite song, I'm going with their cover of Higher Ground by Stevie
Yeah,
Wonder.
good
That
choice.
track to me, it just slaps.
See how it, you couldn't pick an album? To me, it's either Californication or Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I fucking love that album.
No, I'll tell you what, I'll give you an album if I must pick. I'm going to go with Californication.
Yeah, not one skip
But I
song
mean,
either.
both of those were just ridiculous albums.
Yeah, it was like funk rock, like
Very funky.
yeah,
Very funky.
probably the funkiest rock band ever, I would think. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that. I just barely left them off
Absolutely.
my list, honestly. So that's a great pick.
All right, my friend Joe, what is your number 7 band?
Well, this one is completely different than any of my other ones. Sublime. I fucking love Sublime.
Oh, great. Oh,
Such a
man.
chill band.
Again, that's one of those bands that I hated to leave off my list, but dude, I'm glad they're on yours.
Their music is like in a category of its own. It's like reggae, rock, um, just good feelings, great lyrics, great storytelling. Oh man, I fucking love that band. I probably could have put them higher, honestly. Now that I look at it, I'd probably actually put them over
Oh,
Avenged, but I already made my list, so whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
I
It's
love.
kind of like picking one. It's like
It's
when they
impossible, man.
say, yeah, it's like asking an artist, "What's your favorite song that you've written?" And it's like, no, but they're all like my kids. I
Yeah,
can't pick one over the other.
you can't put them in order either. Maybe your first two
Yeah,
or three, but that's it. The rest is just no. Can't really do an order. So yeah, Sublime, favorite album, self-titled. It had Santeria. It had April 25th, 1992. Um, Now I'm gonna forget the name of the song that I love. This is the problem with not looking at my list. Hold on, let me see.
oh, I know, but that's the fun part. We don't have to be exact and be perfect. We
Yeah, I
just
just
have
want to
a
get the
fun
song right.
conversation.
That's all for the people listening.
Yeah,
So my,
very
my
cool.
favorite song by them is Garden Grove. It's actually off the self-titled album. So Garden Grove and the self-titled album are my two
That's a
favorites.
West Coast song right there.
Oh hell yeah! They just have like a sound, like a unique sound. It's like Bob Marley meets 311 almost. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I also love 311, but yeah, I had to put Sublime over 311.
All right. Well, I don't hate that decision. I mean, both great bands, but
Yeah,
yeah, I like Sublime at number 7 for you.
hell yeah. All right, let's get to your number 8.
The Fighters of Foo from Canada. Yes,
Yes,
the Foo
yes.
Fighters,
Great
ladies
fucking
and gentlemen.
choice. Great choice.
David Grohl. He was, obviously originally with Nirvana, Queens of the Stone Age,
Mm.
and then the Foo Fighters. A lot of people don't know this, but the Foo Fighters were together for 28 years. When Taylor Hawkins passed, they had been together 28 years.
They're amazing.
and um, and I love the way that David Grohl, the way his mind thinks about not just writing and instrumentation, the way he thinks about sound. And like the album, was it Wasting Light? I believe it was. Um, he had different instruments in different parts of 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 a house that
Is that
they
the one?
rented out.
Is that the one he recorded himself? Or am I confusing
No, no, no,
that?
no, no, no. This was a complete Foo Fighters album.
Okay.
No, no, no. I take that back. Wasting Light was the one
I think I'm
where they
thinking of
went,
Trent Reznor.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, you were thinking, but no, no, I take that back. Wasting Light was the album. They went old school and they just busted out all their kits in a simple garage style setting for a
Like
studio,
Saint
and
Anger.
they just mic'd up their amps.
Mm.
It was very low tech.
Is that kind of
Um,
like Saint Anger for Metallica? How they jammed out in the
uh,
fucking garage? Kind of.
yes, which was a horrible album, but at least they
Oh,
tried.
we disagree there. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's their best, but I have a soft spot for that album. But that's for
Hey,
another
listen, when it
conversation.
comes to Metallica, I want James Hetfield drunk and pissed off.
Well, he was pissed off in that album, though.
No, he was sober. He had just gone
Yeah,
through
but the
rehab.
fuck it all, fuck it. Like the Saint
No,
Anger
no,
song was
Joe,
good.
you're gonna lose
No?
this argument.
Oh, okay. We'll save that for another time. I want to do a episode with you on the most underrated albums. I
Okay,
think that'd be
cool.
fun.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that would
bring
be
you back.
fun. Worth doing.
Yeah.
I definitely have a lot of, and none of them are hair metal. It's like every other genre.
You know what I want to do? I want to bring you back like maybe every other week, and
So whatever.
just talk
If
music.
we can find something fun to talk
Yeah.
about, I'm totally up for it, Joe.
Hell yeah. All right.
But now it's your number 8.
I know I think you'll drive with this one. Led Zeppelin. Like I said, I grew up on them.
Let's go.
To me, one of the greatest frontmans. Jimmy Page was one of the greatest guitarists. I forget the drummer's name. I think he died, right?
Jason Bonham.
He's one of the best drummers ever. Just a fucking.
Yeah.
I would say they're the most talented band in my opinion. Not the best, but the most talented.
They were amazing. I'm not going to argue against that.
Never saw them live. I heard they're amazing live.
Me neither. And I'm a lot older than you. I never got to see them live.
My favorite album is probably Physical Graffiti, the double album.
Yep.
Favorite song, Dire Maker, easily.
Yep.
I think, I don't know if I'm right, this is just a guess. I feel like Sublime heard Dire Maker and got their influence from it. Because it has like a reggae sound to it. Reggae rock
A
sound.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like for sure. God, so many good albums, so many good songs. The voice is so recognizable. The riffs are so recognizable in a good way. Yeah, just fucking fantastic. Probably could have put them higher too, but like we talked about, you can't really number these bands.
Absolutely.
Led Zeppelin to me, as far as 70s go, it's Pink Floyd, Beatles, Led Zeppelin in that order. I mean, I want to put Rolling Stones on here, but yeah.
Yeah, if I were to pick a favorite Led Zeppelin song, I would probably go with Black Dog.
Good one. I almost had Kashmir there too.
Either Black Dog or maybe the Immigrant Song.
You can't go wrong with any fucking Zeppelin song, honestly.
Yeah. But dude, yeah, Led Zeppelin as your number 8, dude. That's a great pick.
Thank you. Yeah. They're just one of those bands that never ages. It's just timeless.
And now we get down to the even harder part, the last couple of bands.
Yep. So you're number 9, right?
So number 9, I hate to spoil the conversation, but we've already talked about them. But now I get to talk about my favorite song by the Beatles.
Oh yeah.
They're number
I
9
thought
for
they would have been
me.
higher for you, honestly.
Uh,
Is it
I
because
tell
they're
you
not
what,
really like
even
harder?
though this is what I grew up with, the hair metal was a really big influence
Yeah,
in a
I see
number of
that.
ways for me. So, but yeah, going with the Beatles, just
That's is that the first band we both have on it? I think so,
they
right?
really brought in the British invasion. After them, you had the Rolling Stones, and and then it was on from there. But the Beatles for me, like I said, one of my favorite songs I've already mentioned is Paperback Writer, but probably my second favorite would be Day Tripper.
Day Tripper, yeah. Isn't it about like the chicks cheating on them basically, or a
Yes,
hooker kind of?
in a manner of speaking.
Yeah.
She's a big teaser. She took me half the way there.
Yeah.
She was a day tripper. So yeah, it was. But it's just a fun song. It's kind of like a light and partyish kind of atmosphere. But and this chick is teasing him. That's what it's about.
I can't wait to hear your favorite album by them, because that's so many to
Man,
choose
Abbey
from.
Road. I'm gonna go with Abbey Road
Yeah, it was right there for me too.
if I had to pick. If I had to pick. But yeah, that would be my number 9.
Is I almost get like a concept album feel for Abbey Road, almost like a concept album. I feel like it was.
Yeah, I would. I think it's an early version of what we now call a concept album.
Yeah, because all the songs go together.
Yeah, and Styx did a couple of those too.
Yeah, Styx. Oh man, I forgot about the Styx. And Queen. Sorry, I was just naming these fucking awesome bands. Yeah,
I know
Styx and
it
Queen.
kind of sucks, but we could literally this could be a 3-hour podcast
Yeah, we could do
with
a
you and I
top
talking about
50
music.
and still lay
We
people
want to
off.
wrap it up pretty quickly though.
Yeah. All right. So number 9, or yeah, that was your number 9 was Beatles. So my number 9
Yep,
is
my number 9 is
definitely
Beatles.
different. The Beastie Boys. I know a lot of people don't consider them a band, but they played their own instruments. They played guitar. They were heavily inspired by hardcore music. Um, I just love fucking Beastie Boys. Like, I don't know, the sound, the voices, the 3 members that had like unique qualities about themselves, and just so
Yeah,
just they created their own sound. It was like hip hop mixed with rock, mixed with hardcore. Like,
mixed
oh
with punk.
man, yeah, punk too. Yeah, just one of the most original groups ever, at least to me.
You know what? You're right. You're right. I kind of overlooked them. They weren't even on my radar. But dude, the fact that you got that you have them as your number 9, dude,
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
and the best part about it, my son loves them too. My 11-year-old loves them. I got him into them, and he fucking loves them. So
Nice.
that helps a lot too, because we both listen to them, dance to them. My favorite album is, oh god, what the fuck is the album? Paul's Boutique. It's a very underrated album. It wasn't a big
All right.
hit. It wasn't a commercial success like Ill Communication was. My favorite song is Sounds of Science. Such a great song. It changes the beat 3 times in the song. So for each verse, it changes the beat of the song, which is really cool.
Nice.
Love them.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, uh, that's fantastic, dude. That's a great choice.
Now I just want to listen to them. All right, so we're getting down to the last ones.
All right, down to our last, getting down to the nitty gritty. I'm going with the Eagles,
Ooh, great choice.
and it's so hard to pick. Just, I mean, bands that I'm leaving out like the Cars,
Yeah, I'm gonna get to.
like
That's actually one of the questions. Who you would leave off?
yeah,
Or who you had to leave off? Yeah.
yeah, that's one of the people I had to leave off. But yeah, the Eagles. I mean, you just can't deny how great they were, and for so how long. And they even had it in them to put aside their differences and actually make an album out of a joke. because they said, when are the Eagles getting back? And they said, well, they're going to get back together when hell freezes over. And then
Yeah,
when they
Freeze
finally
Over.
got back together, that was the name of their next album.
That's fucking cool. It really is. Wow.
But I'm going to say my favorite album by the Eagles would probably be Hotel California. And I'm going with the title track on this one.
Yeah, great ballad.
Yeah, great story.
Yeah. We talk about storytelling, yeah. They're up there. Definitely. Oh yeah. My favorite song is probably Life in the Fast Lane. I love that song.
Yeah, that's a great song. It really is.
They could do really slow. They could do fast. They could do almost country sounding at times. Like,
Oh yeah,
that's a great
you
band.
can tell there's a lot of country influence. They started off. Most of the members of the Eagles started off as Linda Ronstadt's backup band. Little nugget there for you.
Yeah, good choice with the Eagles and the best football team. I had to throw
All
that in
right,
there.
lay it on me, Joe. What's your number 10, buddy?
Pearl Jam, PJ.
Oh, nice.
The best grunge band to me. The thing about Pearl Jam, not one album sounds the same. And they have so many different albums. So many. They're still going nowadays. Still touring, still going, still putting out albums. Favorite album is Yield. Very underrated album. Everybody says 10. 10's a great album, but to me, Yield has the best sound, the most polished sound. And they actually kind of grew out of grunge. They almost became their own little thing after grunge.
Yeah,
It
was absolutely. So yeah, that's a great choice right there.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, too. Joe. Yeah. All right, so hey, Joe, listen, it's time for me, dude, man. I have got to run. My time is out for tonight.
No, you're good. You're good.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me on. I appreciate being part of your podcast tonight.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. Thanks for being on.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right. You have a great night.
Catch you later, buddy.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. So that concludes the Pete Joe podcast. Thank you to Hubie. We had a really great talk about music, mainly rock and roll. But yeah. Catch you on the flip side. Thank you for listening. Like always.
A little bit, not that much.